Victor, I wanted to ask you what it was like touring with YTF. For those of you that don't know, YTF is a group of great performers, and so if you could just tell us about who's on YTF, how you guys got together, what it was like touring.
Yeah, well, as you can see, these are the members. There's Andrew Garcia, Kevin Jumba, Dietrich, Chester C, JR, and Ryan Higa. And we started, I want to say a couple of years ago, and it kind of started as a joke, really. It wasn't like, let's start this thing. It was like, it started with Ryan, Chester, and Kevin. And they're like, yeah, let's do this little YTF thing. And then it just kind of kept escalating. And then Dietrich got down, and then he asked me to get in, and then we asked Andrew and JR to get in, and then it was like, oh, it's this little group. And we ended up finding these people that were interested in managing us and putting like a tour together. We actually went on 2 6-city tours on the west and east coast, and it was amazing. I mean, these guys were always a fan of like every single one of these guys before this thing started. So like being able to, go on stage with them every night and just be a fan along with the people in the audience was really cool. These guys are not only amazing and talented, but like just the nicest guys ever.
Interacting with people, and this event is just kind of about breaking the stereotype. We're not just one type of person. We're all these different types of people, all these different types of minds. So if you guys could just give us your input on that.
Kevin said to record this one.
I think one of the coolest things I ever heard in regards to that is I was at a conference like this, and I was listening to this guy named Teddy Z. He's a producer out in LA, and someone asked him the same question, like, what difficulties have you faced as an Asian American in the entertainment business? And his answer was something along the lines of like, even if you ask me that, like, it's also difficult being a blonde white person in the industry, or a whatever Latino or Hispanic person, because at the end of the day, everybody has their own difficulties. Just because you might look like that perfect role, you're also competing with hundreds, thousands of people that look the same way. So I feel like the biggest thing is just mentality. I feel like a lot of sometimes. If you keep yourself in that mindset of like, oh man, there's so much stereotype, it's so difficult, you're already building that negative energy around yourself. I think, especially now, times are completely changing right now. So I feel like it's important to not even focus on that at all, and just go and like pursue what you're passionate about. Because now is the time. Like when I was growing up, when there was like one Asian walking by in the back of a commercial, not even in the real commercial, just like walking as a pedestrian, and like, oh, it's an Asian, it's an Asian here, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And now, like, I feel like they always have to have an Asian as in commercials now. I see it like so common, but it was not like that. So everything's changing. So all it takes is like, there's momentum built. Just go. Like, don't think about what's negative and what's difficult. Like, everybody has something difficult, so don't complain. Just go.
Yeah, going off that, I think especially with how big YouTube is now, there's a lot of opportunities and things that weren't possible even 6 years ago, like you were saying. So, and I think another great thing about YouTube and the community is that Asians really like to stick together and really support each other. And yeah, I think it's a really, really good time, especially with movies out like 21 and Over with Justin Chon. That's huge because he's like the lead role in it. And I don't know if you guys watched Walking Dead too, Glenn's the man in that one. Yeah, it's like Asian people are not just like karate, math wizards anymore. They're like real people too, So
yeah, they are real people. We agree.
It's not just like the character of Asians in entertainment anymore. So yeah, I think it's a really like the beginning of like a whole new time period for Asians in entertainment in particular.
And I want to say this, and I feel like I'm speaking on behalf of all of us. I really inspiring that both of you have really broken that stereotype. Like you said, 6 years ago, it didn't exist. And so that's really cool, and I just want to give you a round of applause for it.
There definitely are like pioneers that have like paved the way for all of us. They were just so few and far, but like I don't think we're like the first generation of that. I feel like Victor totally agrees with the students. Like things like Better Luck Tomorrow. You guys have heard of Better Luck Tomorrow? Anybody?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. There's definitely pioneers like before us that have like paved the way, and like I feel like they make dents, and like it's just like slow dents that happen, and I feel like we just are blessed to be at the time where I think YouTube has a big deal to do with. It's just social media where Asians unite behind a computer.